Happy Tuesday. This is Tuesday. What's the day? August 12th, 7:54 a.m. It is 70 degrees. It is 96% humidity. It's misting rain, so, you know. And yes, my hair is kinking or waving, whatever you want to call it. Not much I can do about it. And I need to cut the engine off because I'm not going to put the air on. And let's see, what else? What else about today? It's supposed to be like this all day, raining off and on. Yesterday it was weird. All of a sudden this big crack of thunder come, and I thought maybe one of the trucks outside had, and then I looked outside and saw this big dark cloud. So that was they hadn't even said anything about us having thunderstorms or whatever. But anyway, it kind of scared me when I first heard it. All right, we're going to put them in here so we don't lock them in the car. And I got a front row today. It's my lucky day. I don't have to walk far since it's raining, and that's all. Of course, I could have parked in the boss's place. When I saw this, I thought, well, I could have parked in his place because he's gone away on a jet plane. But anyway, somebody else can have it. I'll let somebody else have it. All right, let's use this watermelon lip gloss here, and we'll talk a little bit. So I saw that Dan took down his video, and I think that some of y'all thought that I was saying Dan was a bad person. I didn't. That was not my insinuation. I just said I wish people would think. I'm glad Dan took down the video, and if he took anything wrong what I said, I doubt he's even seen my video because he's on vacation. I mean, and I think that supposedly there was a couple of more people that put up videos. I don't know. That was the only one I saw with the title. And I mean, I know at one time he had BE, Barham's name in the title, but he changed it after, I don't know. But the first time I saw it, he had his name in the title. And I just don't like that stuff. That's all it amounts to. I just don't like it. I don't like people taking advantage of, I don't know, it's just, to me, that's clickbait. There's other clickbait too, but to me, that's about as clickbait as you can get. Now, somebody sent me a message saying that Mr. Calpote, whatever, had received an email from BE's wife. And I'm like, why would she email him? Tell me why she would email him. Also, you can take down your channel, from what I understand, and make it not visible, but still bring it back. Dan was talking about losing subscribers and all that. Sorry, my alarm went off. Anyway, I don't think that BE is the type that's worried about subscribers. So if he deleted his whole channel and decided he didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore, I think that would be one of the last things on his mind, is how many subscribers he has. Now, if he's somebody like me who wants to grow their channel or whatever, but wants to take a break, I wouldn't even put it private. I mean, I just leave the videos up and say, watch them if you can, because I do want my channel to grow, but not everybody does. Some people just come on YouTube just for the heck of it. That's all. All right, I don't really have much to say today, so I mean, y'all can see I'm trying to make up something to say. Anyway, I didn't watch any of his videos yesterday. Saw a title about something about that Texas auto value. I know he's supposed to be saying this by talking about Texas auto value got its channel, his video watched. But that's what Dinger said that. So just letting you know where I got that from. Dinger said that, and Dinger kept saying Texas Auto Value, Texas Auto Value. So Texas Auto Value. Anyway, he said they saved him from. I didn't understand it. The laws are different in Florida. Here, if you cancel your insurance on your car, you just have to turn in the tag. Has nothing to do with your license. Just has to do with your tag. But anyway, I don't know. Like I say, it's different. It's different everywhere. So I don't know that story. Don't really care. So this morning when I was watching Tampa J, and it wasn't nothing really that interesting. But anyway, immediately when the video was over, you know, it will go on to something else. Well, it went to one of my favorite movies back in the day, I guess. It was in the 80s, early 80s, may even be 1980. Seems Like Old Times with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. I remember that movie being on. I know I went to the theater several times to see it. I don't know why I loved it, but I did. I thought she looked beautiful in that movie. And I know that I loved her hair. I loved the fact that she had all them dogs. And I remember though when it was no longer at the theater and it would come on Saturday afternoons on TBS, I think's what it was. You know, Turner or one of them stations. And, you know, my mom would come in and say, "Are you watching that movie again?" And then, you know, I moved out and I didn't see it for a while. Then it come back on for a little while, and then I think it went off, and I never seen it anymore. And once in a while, when I go to the video store, I'd see it, and for some reason, I never bought it on VHS or DVD. I guess because it was out of sight, out of mind. And then this morning, it come on, I'm like, oh my God, it's Chaffy and Goldie. And I know it was a remake from another movie, so anyway, I'm surprised they hadn't remade it again. But I guess it's kind of cheesy, so that's why they don't. But I love that movie. And now I'll be watching it all the time on YouTube, because it comes with YouTube Premium. If you got Premium, it comes free. So I'll be watching it a lot. And you know, I sit there last night, was trying to log on to Hulu, because I do have a Hulu, but it would never let me log in. But then I figured out you got to have a Disney account now. Or you got to have a Disney login. You don't have to have Disney, you know, pay for Disney, but you got to have a Disney login to get in. Anyway, I was totally confused, and it was late at night, and I should have just not fooled with it. But I'm looking for Miami Vice again. Somebody was showing Miami Vice all the time. Now, I do have that in my library on Amazon Prime, but it's only the first season. But somebody was running the entire season. I thought it was on Roku, but I couldn't find it, so maybe it just went off. Anyway, I'm going to have to look and see where I can find to watch that again. I love Miami Vice. Still one of my favorite series. You know, it just takes me back to the 80s. And I'm not trying to remember the 80s like you know who, but it just takes me back to that time when I was really having what I call fun. Although it was also late 80s when I got married, that I wished I never would have done. But it's over and done with. I can't do nothing about it. Anyway, it is what it is. But I love Miami Vice. Now, there's other series I love too. The Sopranos, of course, that's not in the 80s. And I do watch them sometimes over again. 6 Feet Under, watch that. I haven't watched it in a while, but I used to watch it a lot. I was never into Dexter. You know, I always had just HBO. I didn't have Showtime. Although, there was a time I did have Showtime. And I watched The L Word. And I can't remember what else was on Showtime that I watched. There was a series, though, I think it was called Brotherhood. It was about it was after The Sopranos went off. And it may have been HBO it was on. I don't know. It never really took off, but I thought it was good. It was about two brothers or something that was in the so-called mafia. I want to say in Rhode Island, somewhere like that. But I liked it, but it didn't ever take off. I think it only had 2 seasons. And I don't know what's brought me to talking about these shows. I guess seems like old times is what brought it to me talking about it. As far as YouTube, as I said, I watched Tampa J. I watched, I think that's it. I mean, besides my wrestling ones. Wrestling Days is who I watch, you know, pretty much every day for his commentary. I think he's in London, or he may be in Australia. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever heard him say. Anyway, I do like his commentary on wrestling. I did watch some of wrestling last night, but it was boring. It's always boring after a pay-per-view, I think, until we get to the next pay-per-view. It's not really a pay-per-view. PLE, Premium Live Event. That's what they are now. I'm still talking about the old days when there were pay-per-views. All right, I'm going to shut up because I've talked long enough. You know, just so you know, BillE is doing okay. No mishaps yesterday. I did give him some of that Tinky Cat chicken that I had bought at PetSmart that is gluten-free. And he ate it. He didn't eat every bite of it, but he did eat some of it. And so far, so good. So we'll see from there. He's, you know, I'm just feeding the Dr. Elsie dry, and it's working out fine. I did try to feed him another dry that I have that's supposed to be gluten-free, but I don't know. I started seeing some of the bowel movements being a little soft. I know I'm getting graphic here, but so I just said I'm not going to feed him that no more. And of course, I have forgot to take it off auto delivery. So now I've got another bag of that. So I'll give that to Dave or Dave's mom for their cat, or I'll take it to the Humane Society. Anyway, so I appreciate all of you watching and all your support. And, you know, if I said something that hurt somebody's feelings yesterday, it wasn't really what I meant to do. I mean, some people I don't care about if I hurt their feelings, but most people I do. I don't like to hurt people's feelings because I know how it feels. So I'll talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.
Jump into the car on a Friday night. I wanna drive with you.